Hello, my name is Daniel and I identify as homoromantic asexual. Today I'm going to answer the question, what is grey asexuality? This video won't be comprehensive. I'm just going to be covering the basics of grey asexuality or greysexuality to give you a succinct yet accurate overview of what greysexuality is. Before we begin this discussion, you should probably have a good understanding of asexuality. If you want to check out my video of the topic, it will be in the description down below. For a quick definition, asexuality is defined as a lack of sexual attraction towards people of any gender. Greysexuality is difficult to define. Greysexuality describes the spectrum of identities between asexuality and allosexuality, or typical sexuality. And similarly, grey romanticism is the equivalent for the arrow spectrum. Sexual and romantic identities aren't discrete. There is so much minute variation in people's experiences that it is impossible to perfectly capture how someone is feeling and how someone experiences attraction with a single label. Greysexuality is basically another way of saying the A spectrum. So anyone who is within the A spectrum could describe themselves as greysexual. It is just a broader label to describe that you feel sexual attraction less frequently or less intensely than a typical allosexual person. Obviously, there is a ton of variation in experiences for people who identify as greysexual. It tends to generally be defined as someone who feels sexual attraction occasionally, or very weakly, or maybe under specific circumstances. What does this mean practically? Obviously that depends on the person, once again, but I'll try to give a few examples. Just like asexual people, greysexuals who choose to date may value sex less as a factor of compatibility between them and their partners than an allo person would. However, they may be more likely to be sexually active in a relationship than an asexual person would, because there are certain circumstances that they may feel sexual attraction. In addition, greysexuality is different from having just a fluctuating sexual desire. Obviously, everyone from time to time is going to want sex more or less. The thing about greysexuality is that you cannot feel sexual attraction except for on these very rare or in very specific instances where it does occur. Someone who is greysexual could even not feel sexual attraction for weeks or months on end, which is definitely not typical in most people's experiences. Why would someone use the label of greysexual? It's a very broad label, so people may feel more comfortable using it than a more specific one, especially if they don't feel comfortable sharing things about the way that they personally feel sexual attraction. Other than that, some people just prefer more broad labels in a sense that they don't feel it's necessary to specifically define their orientation. And by communicating that they're greysexual, it communicates that they sometimes feel sexual attraction, maybe more than an asexual person, but they feel it significantly less than someone who is allo. And that's all there is to greysexuality. At the end of the day, it's the choice of the individual to identify as greysexual. If that's the label that fits them best, then that label should be respected. Labels help us better discuss our experiences and find people whose experiences are similar to our own. Going forward with this series, I'm going to be covering more Aspec microlabels and identities, and if there's anything in particular you want me to cover, then feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day and I shall see you next time.